Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Our contest season of Toastmasters is approaching. We are on the verge of beginning the contest season. We will have an international speech contest. We will have a table topics contest. And third, we will also have a contest of evaluation. So, all will be agog to participate or at least witness these contests. The star attraction would of course be the international speech contest because we get the opportunity to go all the way to the international stage. However, we can also excel at table topics, and there are also those who excel at evaluating other speeches. So such people have the opportunity to participate in what is called the evaluation contest. In every Toastmasters meeting, we do have evaluations, but they are not contests. This time around, as an evaluator, you get the opportunity to participate in a contest and go all the way to the district finals. Along with the international speech contest, evaluators will evaluate a single speaker. They get the opportunity to win at the club level, at the area level, go on to the division level, and finally to the district level, which is the fourth level. Just one step before international level. Now, you may have a question. If the international speech contestants get so much attention, why should I participate in an evaluation contest? Right? Natural question. Let us try to answer that question. By evaluating another speaker, how do we develop? First of all, we get the opportunity to stretch and expand our limits. Compared to being a speaker and addressing the audience in an excellent and engaging manner, we also get the opportunity to increase our level of alertness and awareness to speakers themselves. Third, we get the opportunity to view other skilled evaluators and improve ourselves. Fourth, for every level I advance as an evaluator, compared to the club level, there is a larger audience at the area level, there is an even more larger audience at the division level, and finally the largest within the district level for an evaluator. Now let us see what are the aspects we need to handle when participating in a contest of evaluation, as opposed to just evaluating a speech within the club. There are 4 different aspects that our judges will be looking for. The analytical ability of the evaluator is the first, and most of the points out of 100 points will be for analytical ability. A full 40 points for analytical ability of the evaluator. What kind of recommendations I give? Are they helpful to the speaker? That carries 30 points. Another 15 points for my technique of presenting my evaluation feedback. As one of the speakers said, if I am always direct and if it is perceived as rude, the speaker may not feel motivated to correct themselves. They may feel demotivated. But I am expected to be sensitive and motivational as an evaluator. Third, at the end of my evaluation speech, can I sum it up in a way that is memorable, which the speaker can recall and put into practice? That is the 4th point to be taken care of. So please keep these 4 points in mind, not only during the contest, but even as a speech evaluator at your club. How is the evaluation contest conducted? It's a contest after all. There will be a target speech, which will be a 5 to 7 minute speech. We will have a target speaker who is expressly invited to give this kind of speech. His or her speech can be specially prepared for the contest, or it may be from one of the paths in his or her path. Either of those are relevant. contestants, any club member in good standing of a club in good standing can be a contestant in the evaluation contest. We must, as contestants, we must use what is called the evaluation contestant notes sheet. That is the raw material for our participation. After watching as the target speaker, each one of us gets precisely 5 minutes to prepare our evaluation. So 5 minutes time is what we get. After that, we hand over our sheet to the sergeant at arms until we walk onto the dais to present our evaluation. That is when the sergeant at arms hands it back to us, and we get 2 to 3 minutes time to present the evaluation. One highlight here is, because all contestants are evaluating the same speaker, no contestant is allowed to listen to the preceding contestant. That is the rule of the evaluation contest. Once we present our speech, we are welcome to be in the audience and listen to the later contestants who walk onto the desk. Yeah. So as I mentioned, we get back our evaluation sheets just before walking onto the desk. How should I approach it if I intend to participate? Think of my evaluation as a speech, because I must address not only the target speaker, I am also expected to address the entire audience. So I must engage with the entire audience, along with offering points of improvement and noting down positive points of the target speaker. Yes, one guideline here is, when pointing out positive aspects, tell the entire audience so the speaker feels good about it. However, when talking about points of improvement, it is preferable to address the speaker directly. We all can identify at a high level what are the positives and negatives. You have great vocal variety, your gestures are amazing. Now, as a contestant, I am expected to go a little deeper and tell how it benefits the communication. So, your vocal variety is amazing, for example. That is at a high level. One example where you can go one level deeper is, this is at a high level. You use hand gestures consistently. For example, every key phrase in your speech was accompanied by the corresponding appropriate hand gesture, and this helped to make a lasting impression. That would be going one level deeper and leaving a lasting impact on the speaker as an evaluator. So, for any point you make, maybe you can state it at a high level, but please go one level deep. And where appropriate, you can express emotion as well, because after all, your speech, your evaluation is a speech in itself. Yes, you are welcome to highlight how you felt. You use vocal variety so impressively. You can be a speaker as you communicate your feedback to the target speaker. And as an example, it's too long for me to repeat. The way you change your position on stage when describing different family members helped me remember all of them much after the speech. I might have spoken about myself, I might have spoken about my father, my mother, my brother. If I change my position, it helps leave a lasting impression on the audience. How many people were involved? And please accompany every negative point in between a positive before and after it. That's called the sandwich method, one of the preferred methods of communicating your feedback. Yes, since we are on a dais and the speaker is in the audience, we should not single out the speaker for any negative feedback. So they should not feel isolated, cornered, vulnerable. That's not the intention of the evaluation. Even by giving suggestions for improvement, let them be concrete instead of generic. If I say something like, the way you varied your pitch was not appropriate, it will leave a question mark. When, at what point in my speech? I spoke for 5 to 7 minutes. When should I have varied my pitch? There is no concrete feedback. Instead, you can say, when you played the part of your grandfather, that is when you could have altered your tone and pitch to suit that pitch. We get only 2 to 3 minutes for evaluation compared to 5 to 7 minutes for the speaker. So it is up to us to use it wisely. Have an attention-catching opening to your evaluation, which contains a few positive points. And yes, one highlight of the target speech, a positive highlight. Identify at least 2 aspects in which the speaker can improve, either in their delivery or in their content, or both. And towards the end, we must have a summation. Even if it is only 30 seconds, it must have a summation to it. Contrary to what we commonly see, it is not essential to call for applause in the contest, because applause takes up valuable time which you could use to include more points in your evaluation. And yes, of course, consider all the 4 points which we noted before and be sure that you have all of them in your speech. Yes, evaluation in a contest is different from evaluation in a VD. You are contesting as an evaluator compared to giving feedback in a meeting. So in our regular meetings, our focus will be totally on the target speaker, but in a contest, I must address the entire audience. Each speaker gets only one evaluator, so it is up to that evaluator to identify every point of improvement. But if I am in a contest, the pressure is on the evaluator to identify 1 or 2 unique points which other evaluators have missed. We take care not to repeat any point which other evaluators would obviously have done. Identify something unique which you feel somebody else, others would have missed. Yes, so that is the point I was trying to say. So, as an evaluator, don't limit your observation to the beginning and end, only to the duration of the speech. Begin as they walk up to the dais. You will get an idea how confident they are, what is going on in their mind, how convinced they are about their own speech. You will get an idea the moment they walk up to this. Watch the audience also, how they are responding to the speaker, not only the speaker themselves. Audience response is also one component of how well a speech is received. Right? Not only that, how the speaker responds to applause. Do they feel good? Does their face light up when the audience applauds? Do they feel they are worth that applause? Please watch that aspect as well. And does the audience respond when the speaker actually puts forth a question to them? That is something else to watch out for. And last but not least, is the speaker trying to engage with the audience through techniques like humor, in addition to vocal variety, body language, and so on. Yes, the key points to watch out for: body language on and off the dais, modulation of their voice, how well they pronounce words, especially difficult ones, How well they use facial expressions? Do they make contact with everybody in the audience? Do they move appropriate to their speech? Are their movements conducive to their expression? Do they have sufficient voice? Do they use sufficient gestures? Or do they feel diffident in front of the audience? Is their posture appropriate to this kind of speech they are doing? Watch out for all these points. Yeah. When you are evaluating the delivery, keep an eye on all these three aspects: the tone adopted by the speaker, the pitch which they are using. Of course, there may be some naturally high-pitched or low-pitched individuals. Give some leeway for such individuals. And thirdly, rate of speech. We are expected to speak a little more slowly when compared to one-to-one communication, but a little more loudly whenever we are on the dais. These three are the elements of delivery, voice delivery to watch out. And yes, there are always inputs that you can take from Toastmasters all around the world. And some experienced Toastmasters include Toastmaster Jonathan, who has a YouTube channel of his own. There is also Lugan, Toastmaster Lugan, who has set up a website to propagate Toastmasters techniques. And there is a club, Beehive, who, like us, has a YouTube channel as well. These are just three of the multitude of references available to us. There is even more material on the Toastmasters website itself. So all of these can be valuable when you prepare to contest as an evaluator. I hope this has given some. I hope this encourages you and motivates you to participate in this year's contest of evaluation.